Hey y'all, hey, what's
Hey,
going on?
hopefully you all can get in here.
Yeah,
It's freezing.
yeah, it's doing
Something going on in the Matrix
doing
tonight.
what it wants to do
We
tonight.
okay. If you can still hear us, we've been trying to get in for over half an hour, I think.
Okay, it's been
And
doing what it wanted to do.
we get kicked
So,
out, and
hey,
it's weird. Maybe there's some sort of
there's a glitch in
wonderful
the
updates.
matrix.
Maybe there's some wonderful updates that are in the
Hey
making. We'll just hope so.
y'all.
Hello,
So,
everybody.
it is me, it is he, it is us, Pastor
Hmm.
him and Pastor me, Pastor G and Pastor him. We're in
GDM.
here. GD hashtag as hashtag. Don't forget the hashtag. GD and me.
GDM.
You find us all over social media. Hey there,
Hmm.
Brother Robert. Bless you. We're doing great.
MarriageMakes3.com. Appreciate you. Thanks for
We
being
are
in here,
doing
guys.
great.
Hey,
Thank you
Kimmy.
all so much for coming in and hanging out with us.
Love y'all.
So, if somebody would be so kind as to share this in the seat so that the rest
Yes.
of the family will know that we
Share.
are here, then we can go ahead and get started tonight. And we don't plan to be here very long because of the fact that it took so long to get here.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
took so
goodness.
long to bake it.
It was like going through the matrix, y'all. So anyhow, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm Pastor Michelle. If you're checking us out on the IG, you're going to see all sorts of stars and lights and
Hmm.
clouds. It's beautiful over there. So you might want to go over there and check it out after the broadcast. But I'm
Yep.
Pastor Michelle. This is my sweet husband, Pastor G. We are spiritual relationship counselors. We're veterans of the United States Air Force.
We're
Hey!
authors, pastors, and your go-to couple for all things relationship. Thank you for joining us on
Yes,
this
this
Wednesday
beautiful
hump
Wednesday
day.
evening.
Wow, seems like our weeks get away so quickly,
It has been
guys.
going pretty
And
quickly.
we've been starting our weeks on
Yes.
Wednesday
Oh my
lately.
goodness. It has been
Thanks for being here.
something else. But
Mm,
we're so
it's
grateful. We're
all
so
good.
thankful. God has been good to us. And we
Mm,
pray that He's
thank
been
you.
good to you all. Now,
Hallelujah.
yesterday was the longest day ever for me. I had an appointment, I had prayer, had an appointment, had to work, so it was a whole lot of stuff. And literally just now got out of some of the work that I've been doing here in the house. Don't cheat us, make your in a infinite is a mess. Cause your
It
infinite
is.
it's I
Yeah.
don't think it's our internet. I think it's some of the apps. Cause y'all know we're normally on StreamYard.
Hmm.
But for some reason tonight, it just decided it just didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
The computer said, "You don't have a camera." I'm like, "But we can see the camera. It's right there. We put it there. We can look. It's looking at us."
Hmm.
I've used it today with 3 of my clients, so it's not as though that the camera shouldn't work because it
Hmm.
worked earlier. So I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
y'all, excuse me. We're in here tonight. And because we don't have a lot of time with you all, what we wanted to do was just do a little Q&A if you have
Yeah.
any questions on marriage, dating, divorce, infidelity,
Hmm.
or relationship. Before and after I do, you can drop it there in the chat or in the comment section,
Hmm.
rather, and we will do our very best to answer your questions tonight. It can be any of that.
Yeah.
So while y'all are thinking about that, because if y'all don't have any questions, then we can jet out. So here's the thing.
Hmm.
We have several books that we are authors and co-authors on. My husband is amazing. He is
Hmm.
just
Thank
he
you.
is killing the book game.
Thanks,
His
son.
writing is prolific. Once you get a hold to it, it's like you start turning the pages and you can't stop reading.
Mm.
However, that's for the ministry side. Together, we have several, and I don't know if you remember this, but one of the guys that I listened to years ago prophesied that we would be writing books
Mm.
and that we would be writing books on families. We would be writing books for finances and for faith.
Mm.
And
Okay.
and boom, has
Mm.
not look what the Lord has done,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And that was before there were any books written.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I remember
you
that
remember
now.
now? And I was like, this is so exciting
Yeah.
because when what happened was I was going through some of my old papers, and when I pulled it out, I was like, what is this? Because, whenever I'm in the house, I got notes here, there, and everywhere. And so I found this was on the back of a piece of a bill or something.
Wow.
And I just, because if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it. I didn't have it where I could record it. And so I was trying to write stuff down as quickly as possible. And so in my writing it down, I put it somewhere, and I opened that book and I found it. I was like, oh my God. See, sometimes we forget the promises or the prophetic words that God gives us. And then it was just so cool because we had already gotten to the place where we needed to be.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
And tonight, look, there's a question.
Yeah.
How do you rebuild trust? Hey, brother Robert, thank you.
That's really a great question. Wonderful question.
How do you rebuild trust? First of all, and if we're talking about in the cases of infidelity, which it usually is, and remember we said that infidelity is more than just a sexual infidelity. There can be emotional infidelity, financial.
Five different kinds.
Five different types of affairs.
That we covered anyway.
Exactly. Cyber affairs. We talked about all of that. But one or two of the things that we learn to do is to sit down and say, this really hurt me. And when we have that dialogue with each other, and we know that the person definitely wants to get back into good graces, they're going to begin to do some things differently. Excuse me. Whew. Thank you. They're going to, thank you, babe. They're going to do things differently. There's going to be an openness in communication. And one of the things that we've been talking about, because we've been doing the cheating chronicles here lately, one of the things that we talked about is that we are going to become transparent. That whatever because what happens when you're dealing with infidelity? A lot of times people are like this. Well, why they don't trust me? Well, honey, the same way that you took that time to lose it, and it can be gone like that. It takes time to build in any kind of relationship. And so if you are one of those that are dealing with infidelity, there's some steps that you're going to have to take. And it's funny that you're asking this, because we were going to show you, our new book on overcoming infidelity. We're going to show you that. It's an ebook. You can find it on Amazon. But some of the things that we learn to do is to become transparent, be that one that we can talk to, realize that this is not going to change overnight, that this person has really been hurt, and you have to acknowledge the hurt. Don't make any excuses, and ask the questions. How can I make this better? What do you need me to do? If the person says, I need you to call me every 15 minutes, and I need you to call me with the camera on so I can see your surroundings, excuse me, then you might just have to do that.
Now we know that on some level that's an unrealistic, some parts of that are unrealistic, but can you meet me halfway? Can you call me every 30 minutes? Is there a point in the day when you're taking a break that you can call me? I can call you at lunchtime instead of going when I go to the bathroom or whatever. I can take a moment to call you. But there is that accountability, and that's vital, Brother Robert. It's vital that we have the accountability, and we not get stuffy because this person is requiring something of us when we created that situation. Now, and part of that too, I'm going to add this part, is that we have some consistency. Consistency and effort. So it may be that even though this person is working, the victim in this is really working to get through it. And we understand that in infidelity, actually both are kind of victims. Because even though the one person did the infraction, but the person who didn't do the infraction, they are definitely a victim. But the other one is kind of a because when you realize that who the real enemy is, which is the devil. But in this case, we can't blame the devil. We have to say that, look, we have
to take our responsibility.
But let me go back to that word. That word is consistency.
Amen.
So if you are doing certain things to get back into his good graces or her good graces, depending on where the infraction is, you have to consistently do those things,
Yes.
right? Consistently show that you love.
That's right.
Because again, if it took a certain length of time, the trust, it can be a bear.
Okay.
Infidelity, we described it as being somewhat like a death.
Yeah.
You know, at least the death. And a death, you're going to bury the person.
Right.
And at some point, the pain is going to get lessened. But in an infidelity, you have to see the person that you kind of killed every single day.
Yes.
You have to be in a relationship with them. So the key here is to have some communication, the accountability, the consistency of effort.
True that.
And you continue to making those over to us. What can I do to make this right? And the pledge, renewing the covenant. Look, I know that I messed up so royally.
Well,
you know, I have never done anything to hurt somebody as bad as I know what I've done.
My Lord.
And I know that if it takes the rest of your life, the rest of my life, I'm going to work on getting you to forgive me.
Yes.
And loving the hurt out of you.
Yes. Amen. That part. That part. And listen, and what the problem is here is that there is no guarantee. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go.
There's no guarantee, because this person could consistently look at you, and if you're, Lord, please don't be a serial cheater, because at this point of the game, I don't believe nothing that you say. Yeah. And so you have to be so on point with your word. If you say 1 o'clock, don't you show up at 1:05, because they're going to ask you the question, well, who were you with in between 1 o'clock and 1:04? Because you said you was going to be here, but it took you up. Listen. We do ourselves such a disservice. If you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, just get the hell out.
Yeah, because
just get out.
The serial cheater.
Oh my God!
They're gonna have a lie. They're gonna have you cry, and they're gonna have you pull out your wallet to help those people that they hit in an accident. It's sad. Hello, Amber John.
Hey, daughter, love you, sweetheart. Kim asked the question. I hope that answers your question, Robert, or at least part of it. Is it true that if you don't want to hurt your husband or wife at least once a month, you don't really have a good marriage? Is it true
that if you don't
want to hurt them, why would you want to hurt them? Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly.
I think I know where she's at, but go ahead.
Is it true that if you don't want to hurt your husband or wife, you don't want to hurt them at least once? If you don't want to hurt them, you don't really have a good marriage.
You make me so mad.
Okay, so here's the thing. I say it like this. Why are you laughing so much? This is really cracking you up.
Getting under my skin. So I'm not getting under your skin enough to make you want to kill me.
No, well, here's the thing. I heard them say years ago that what is it, that there was something made in heaven, but so was thunder and lightning. And I'm like this. If you live with somebody and you all always agree on every single thing, you don't never clash, you don't ever feel a different way, then one of you is unnecessary. One of you is absolutely unnecessary. If you can listen, I don't agree with myself on everything every time. Okay, one time I like it like this, and another time I don't want nothing to do with that, right? And so if that's just inside of me, what about with this other person? And so she is laughing her head off right now. You have a good marriage if you know that you have a good set of self-worth, value, esteem. You have a good grasp on reality when you know that you have two people trying to become one. We've been doing this from the beginning of time, and we ain't done it right yet. There's always going to be those times where you have to kind of ebb and flow. There's those times where you're going to just have to say, you know what? I don't agree. You don't agree. Let's just leave it like that. But you better put your leg on me tonight when we get into bed, because I'm going to have to choke you if you don't. Just because we missed it, just because we fussing during the day, don't mean we ain't supposed to be hugged up at night. So that's all I'm saying. All right. She says someone is someone is unnecessary. Both of you consistently agree on every single solitary thing. Something's wrong with that.
Yeah.
That ain't natural.
But if you're falling out every single day,
That's a problem.
or really every week,
that's a problem.
Something is kind of
off
kilter there.
Very true.
So it shouldn't rise to the level where you want to kill someone or hurt them, even though it gets really frustrating, right? And so if we're getting frustrated, that level of frustration every time somebody's not saying their prayers.
Okay.
You know, so we have to be consistently, we have to help usher each other into the throne room. We need to be praying together and, you know, those kinds of things. I see another question, follow-up question from Robert.
Robert says, what about if you're trying to rebuild your trust in the other?
Okay, if you're learning.
They're going to have to do the very same things that we're saying that if you are the person that made the infraction is going to have to do. It's a series of, this is my word, right? And checking to see if indeed you follow up on your word. Because if the person isn't good for what they're telling you, then you have no, because you can't go inside their mind.
Yeah, or Robert, if it's a case where, you know, they are the ones that caused the infraction, and I'm hurting and I'm still have my doubts and my concern.
Yeah.
And I want to trust you.
Right.
I really want to love you, but and depending on the level of communication, if you're not communicating with me, you know, if you're not willing to be accountable,
that's right.
You get frustrated because I ask you, well, where did you go? Where are you headed? You know, out. You know, see, that's not fair to you.
Out.
And the way, one of the things that we look for and seeing if a person is remorseful, if they're really sorry for what they did, is there an area of repentance? Have they repented?
Yeah. Do they understand?
And do they understand that this is still here?
Yeah.
That this is not gone. And if they're not understanding and willing to try to be empathetic, then, you know, I tend to question the sincerity.
Oh, yes.
Of the person.
That's right.
You know, if I ask you, where'd you go? Why are you asking me where I go? Why are you checking me? You know, why you want to know? You act like you don't.
Because I don't trust you, baby.
I'm not the one who moved.
Okay.
You know? and that's really a hard place to be.
It is.
And some situations do, not impossible, but some situations do require a little bit of counseling, a little bit of and maybe it's the communications part. The person is not really big on communication, but you can say, look, once a week, whether we need it or not, I would like for us to sit down and talk and just kind of see where we're at.
Yeah, true that.
And you know, it's not a come to Jesus meeting, but it's just, you know, to kind of so that we can get back on the right track.
Absolutely.
And if the person is willing to do that, you know, then that's an overture. That's something you can kind of work with. All right.
Sit down with each other. Robert says it can be hard to trust even when after much time they have consistently communicated and have been true to their word, like a lingering worry.
Yeah.
Robert, if you're gonna some stuff, you know, you have to take calculated risks. Okay. And it could be a matter of, have you really forgiven this person for what they have done? And it's hard sometimes to forgive someone because it's always back there in that little bump in the back of your head. But you have to get to the place where you say, you know what? I've dealt with this. I love this person. I believe they love me. We've gone through this. I'm praying that everything is going to turn out all right, and then throw yourself in it. Because here's the problem. Sometimes what we do is we become self-sabotaging because I don't trust you now. I'm very suspicious of you all the time. And I'm not saying to be dumb and just let them go.
Hyper
vigilant.
Kind of.
Right. But and we get it. It's traumatic to know, you know, that your partner has stepped outside of the two of you. It just, and for men, oh my God, men, you all have the hardest time. It's almost like somebody licked your lollipop and handed it to you, and you looking at it like, I don't want that. What you give me? I don't know nobody want that. And it's true. It's like the male lions. You all are, what? There was some children from the old lion. Oh, we got to get rid of that.
Who touched my stuff? Somebody been sleeping in my bed.
It's sleeping in my
and then it's not a funny.
no,
You know,
but
we say it like that
right.
to say that it's a little humor to it.
Yes.
We want to put a little humor to it
Yeah,
because it
it's
can be a really
heavy.
tough. And you mentioned something, honey, that I think that it's really important that we understand is that was a trauma.
Yes.
That this is a trauma, and any kind of trauma that we have has a consequence.
It's very true.
But what we're finding though is that when couples are putting in the work and they're consistent, they're praying together, they've got the doors of communication open, they're doing those things that the overtures. It may be a gift. It may be us taking some time to go out.
Yes.
And reestablishing is not impossible. We know that it's not impossible.
It's true.
That it can be done.
It can.
And so wherever the situation, we know that sometimes we ask questions for other people.
For other people.
We're just praying.
But listen,
God will bless you to be a blessing.
Amen. We do not, whether you're a man or a woman, you don't have enough eyes to watch no man. You don't have enough eyes to watch no woman. And so what we have to do is give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove us otherwise. Hopefully they don't prove us otherwise. But if they do, then we have some decisions that we have to make at that point. Now, this is why we have to keep the communication open. This is why we have to go back into those treasure trove, finding out our love languages, finding out some of the things that mean something to the other person. We have to go back in. And we talked about that element of nostalgia where we go back and we reminisce about the times from behind, where we had our favorite song and our favorite restaurant, all of those things. We have to get those things back and kind of rekindle the fire that we had in there for each other. Because once we get to the place where we are so super in love with each other again and we don't want anybody else in between us, we're going to find ourselves doing stuff and having such a great time with each other that it's going to be like, man, I would never, I was going to say something, but I ain't going to say it. Because I might have to kill somebody. All right.
And what happens in situations like that is that both people come out kind of new. You come out when there's a little bit of loss of innocence, but you kind of come out with an opportunity to be even better. It can be even sweeter. And that's what we pray for those who may be facing those situations. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Now, we are, you mentioned our new book. It's called Overcoming Infidelity. And
I wish we could do it from here. I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. Ooh, because we're doing this whole new thing here. So y'all give us just a second and see if we would be able to
bring you.
Let's see. Nope, I don't see it, honey. Do you see it?
We can no.
I don't see it.
Well, we can give them the link and they can find that.
They can. But I just thought it would be so cool to be able to show. But here's the thing.
The link is too long to give it to you, but we can give you.
Hold on. I can give you. I think I can. I think I can. Well, hold on. Let me see here. Let me see. What can I do if I can do it?
Should it be saved already? Try pasting.
Well, remember we've had to paste several things for the night, so it's possible that it's not going to be there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be there. But let me see real quick and see if it will let us.
Don't go away. We're still here.
We're still here.
We'll keep, and we'll
hopefully
just keep
it doesn't drop us out.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it has a tendency to want to just kind of do whatever it feel like doing.
We're gone.
Are we gone?
No. I'm saying that's the way it does this.
Okay, let's see.
So thank you all for joining us with Pastors Greg and Michelle, MarriageMakes 3.
Hey, Danielle.
Hashtag GD and me. Thanks for being in here with us. Hey, Danielle.
Danielle is in the house. How are you, lady?
John, the one and only, is here with us.
So there it is. There's the link.
Overcoming.
What happened?
Fidelity.
Oh, I clicked on the link myself and it took us over there. Oh, how about that? So I want to read to you guys just a part of it. And hopefully this is going to be something that is going to help you. Now, don't forget, you can also go over and get the download. Is called Overcoming Infidelity. It's free at bit.ly/mm3links. And I believe it's in the title. It gives you a little checklist, and you can kind of go over there and see what's available. There's several things, but for those of you that are dealing with or have dealt with infidelity and you're trying to get to that place where you are overcoming it, you know, you're getting past it, we promise you that that checklist is going to be of a great help to you. So overcoming infidelity is going to look like this. Boom. What about that? What about that cover? Does Pastor G does his thing on the covers or what? Boom, bang, pow. Look at that cover. Look at the cover with all the it's got the clouds and stuff. I'm exhausted. Been in Zoom meeting all day. Child.
Oh, wow.
Listen, same all day. All right. So this. And it's not, this is the ebook. We have a version that is going to come after this in print.
Print book.
So overcoming infidelity, discovering that your significant other has been unfaithful is one of the most devastating situations you will experience in life. Your feelings will run the gamut from brokenness to shame and guilt. Only the violent loss of a loved one matches the intensity as the revelation of an extramarital affair. The web of suspicion, lies, deceit, and the final revelation of an affair can have the same intensity and sense of loss as the sudden death of a loved one. As you endure the gamut of emotions, angst, anger, humiliation, hurt, disappointment, guilt, loss, and self-blame, you may feel physically as if you suffered a great blow to the pit of your stomach. You may find that you are overeating or not eating at all. You may even find you are hibernating for weeks, which may lead to other relationships in your life suffering. Recognize and understand that these are natural responses to grief and do your best to move forward, to avoid self-destructive behavior. It is okay to feel pissed off. Can I say that? I guess I wrote it. Okay. It's okay to feel pissed off about your loved one's act or acts of infidelity. If this is not the first time your partner has strayed, you may find yourself trying to go on with life as usual. If you are not entirely vested in the relationship, you may find yourself merely ignoring the news and continuing with your life as though nothing has happened. Right? So that's just the, hey Sarah, that's just the first, if you go over to Amazon, like I said, you'll be able to pull that part up and you'll be able to get your very own copy. It's an ebook and you can get that tonight. I promise you it's going to help you. If you haven't gotten the free download of Overcoming Infidelity, then go ahead and get that first. And that's going to help you. Hey, Sarah, we're talking about this book, Sarah. Overcoming Infidelity, and how we get to restoration and healing. And this is pretty much what we've been talking. I will say it for you. She said, hashtag pissed off. Yes. I love it. Right? Because, see, and here's the thing. Some people, because they're not vested in the relationship anymore, because they are with someone that is like a serial cheater, they just act, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But there's parts of that person that is becoming eroded away every single time. And you become more callous to what is actually happening. And it's not good for you. It's not good for your partner, whoever that might be. And sometimes what we're doing is we're holding on to a placeholder.
And I would offer to you that it is also extremely dangerous at that point. You know, depending on who you are, you may be just one more strike,
incident,
one more incident from somebody getting hurt seriously,
being the star on Snapped or Investigate Discovery.
So one of the things that you have to weigh, that if you have children, and I know back in the day, people took a lot of stuff for the sake of the children.
The children.
We got to keep the children.
Yeah.
You know, children need both parents, you know, at any cost.
Yeah.
So back in the day, that was done a lot. But now people will snap.
Yes.
They will go off.
Mhm.
And it was happening.
That was happening
then.
back then. We just didn't know about it. We
Mhm.
didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
So that we could see all of the stuff in real time. And here's the thing, there were those people that never really spoke about this because it was always so hush hush.
Taboo.
And some people are asked, well, why is she still with him? Sometimes it's because of the finances. And if you're dealing with and this, oh my God, and this is why we teach our women, you really need to make sure that you have a way to support yourself.
Mhm.
Never be found in the position, because maybe it's not infidelity, maybe it's not divorce, but what happens if your spouse passes?
Mhm.
Now, we homeschool, right? And a lot of not a lot, but there were several, I think too many, families that pretty much they said that the girls didn't need to go to school so much, that once they finish high school, that should have been it. Why go to college? All you're going to do, quote unquote, is be a wife and raise children. Well, what happens when that husband dies, right? God forbid, and now you're left with all of these children, and they didn't have the resources needed so that you could continue to be a stay-at-home mom.
And in today's world, you're doing them a terrible disservice, because they can always work from home if that's their choosing.
That's right.
But allow them to get the benefit of an education.
Yeah.
I mean, there are grants and all kinds of stuff available for people who want to go to school to be able to go. And very many, a lot of people can go without a lot of student debt. If any. And so, why not take advantage of that opportunity? Because even 2 years is better than nothing.
True that.
And I think we do, sometimes girls have been done a terrible disservice. Because here they are, later on in life, when they find out the benefits of having education, they're going to be 40 and 50 and in somebody's classroom.
Right.
And begrudging you, your memory is going to be dope. It's going to be a toast because you got them away from something that would have helped them to have a better lease on life.
Absolutely. And I hate it. What we have done, and especially in our society, especially those that are, they say, we're traditional. I don't have any problem with traditional family. If that's what you want to do, then please, by all means, do that. Do I have a problem with stay-at-home moms? Absolutely not. I was a stay-at-home mom. But while I was staying at home, I was making some money.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. And you can have both.
Right? And so here's the thing. We do a lot of women a disservice because of the fact that once you have finished your childbearing years, most women, they don't have one every year or every other year. And there's a window of time that you're having children, right? And then at some point, if you're sending them to a public school, it's 5 years old. Or when they become 18 and 20. Remember, ladies, you live for the most part longer than men, right? She said, preach. Not every woman who went to college is a housewife, just saying. Exactly. There are some women that did go to college and they are at home taking care of their children. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have any problem with that at all whatsoever. But we also want you to know that you have some sort of backup plan. Not because you don't have faith, but because you live in a world that things can change so very quickly. I'm sure that the people that left home the morning of September 11th did not expect that would be the last time that they would see their families, that they would be able to be around their loved ones, right? But that whole day changed several hundreds of people's lives. And so what do? And when you're waiting for the government to reimburse you or give you a settlement or whatever, people have lost their homes, people have lost their vehicles, they've lost things because of the fact that they did not have that income during that time.
And what that does, it sets them back. Even when the economy resets, they're still going to be behind. And so that's the fallacy, the deal about when we talk about reparations, that if you're 100 years already behind, if you pay somebody a reparation, they're still going to be 100 years behind.
Right.
with a little bit of money, and which isn't going to last long because they're still trying to catch up. And so people have to look realistically.
And
what am I doing to my kids?
Exactly.
What am I doing to the women in my life?
Exactly. And women, you have to remember that because you live most usually longer than your male counterpart, you're going to raise your children. They're going to be 18 and 20 years old. And let me tell y'all something about children. Okay? Children will leave you. Children is going to, children become grown. And then they find families, they find someone that they want to be with. And so they will matriculate over to where they want to be. You're not going to count on, hey Jay, I love you, sweetheart, being able to just come and sit in somebody's house for the rest of your life and think that they're always going to be here, because they may not. All right. Children are, at one point, they are dependent upon you for everything, and there comes a place, and I think it's right in those teenage years, I know right in those teenage years, they're trying to find their independence. They're trying to tell you no and go against the rules, because of the fact they are learning how to have their own mind, their own will, their own emotions. They're learning how to stand up for themselves and all of those things. So when they are 18 and 20 and 25 and they're leaving the house, because now they have a husband or a wife, now they want to go out on their own, now they've joined the military, now they've got a job that's going to take them overseas or what have you. Now at 45 and 55 years old, you're talking about a whole nother 20 years, right?
Yeah.
That you can be doing something for you. Yes. And so what is that going to be? And why wait until you get to that point to think about, oh, I'm going to be doing something else with my life, right?
Yeah.
You've got a long time to live after you raise children. Children is not the only vocation that you as a woman can have.
That's true.
All right.
And that's that old mindset that says, barefoot, stay home, barefoot and pregnant. And just said that women belong at home, barefoot and pregnant. And that's really a horrible service. That's really horrible disservice that we do. Now, let me just say this. I was reading today that Prince Harry said that had his mother, Diana, not left them money, because the Queen, they've written them out of everything. They're not getting any money from the Queen, from England, from the Queen, or nothing from the family. They have stripped of all their titles and everything because they chose to move. I don't know what else was involved in that. But my point is that he said, had his mom not had the forethought to leave them something to prepare for her and him and his brother, then they would have not been able to do what they did. They would not been able to move the way that they did. Of course, they've got to deal now with Spotify and Netflix, and they're telling the story to Oprah and everybody else. So, but anyway, our point is that things change.
It's true.
This whole thing, if you have something today, it may look a lot different tomorrow.
That's right.
And so we have to allow our girls, our daughters, to be prepared also for a future. Now, again, you can get a degree and not even have a job in the degree area that you chose.
Oh, come on.
You can have a degree and not be able to get a job
in that field.
You don't know that?
Yep.
Or you can have a degree and go out and start a company. And so there's a lot of opportunity, but at least give me a chance. Don't write me off from the start.
Right.
But I think a lot of daughters are going to feel some kind of way if they don't already.
Okay. Listen, I was listening to a gentleman today, just briefly, and he 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 said he went to college and he got his history degree. And then he found out a rude awakening that they weren't hiring in history. I was like, they ain't hiring. They're not hiring in history. I was like, okay.
No industry.
There's no history industry that was hiring at that point.
No history factory.
Right. Yeah. And so
they're not even history book
no, you know what?
factories
You're
anymore.
so right. That's what he said. The history factory wasn't hiring. That's exactly what. That is so lit. He said the history factory wasn't hiring once I got my degree, and so he left that job, left that degree, and went and got a different degree. And I don't even remember what the second one was, but he got the second degree.
Weaving, maybe. No, I'm joking.
But look, then he said, so imagine when I told my mom and dad that I feel like I'm supposed to be on a stage telling jokes.
Wow.
And so he's a comedian now, right?
Amazing.
Oh, it was so funny. I laughed so hard. So Danielle says, like COVID-19, now some people are depending on the stimulus check and the unemployment benefits as well. And that is so true. Yes, he sure did say that. I was watching the whole interview. Okay.
Yeah,
Your screen keeps freezing. I'm so sorry, Sister Shirley. How are you, woman?
Hey, love you, Al. Hey, and you know another funny thing.
What's that?
Is that I don't know, honey. It's something about the melanin that you get blamed for everything. Now, people, the news, the media, they have really given Miss Markle a super hard time. I mean, and they're saying, well, she told everything. Harry was telling it. She wasn't telling it. Harry told it. So, you know,
it's like me.
Like, you know, he done got that little black girl. Now he gone crazy. I mean, you know, seriously, she's gonna be blamed for everything. if there's a kitchen fire in the castle, guess who's gonna get blamed?
It was Megan's
that little black girl.
Listen. That's that black girl magic. So listen, I know that this is true because I get blamed for a lot of stuff that I was just sitting in the room. I may have just walked past the door and somehow it was Pastor Michelle that said it. I'm like, wait, what? Never said that. Where did you get that from? The lies, the deceit, the falsehoods. What? So yes, it is true. If for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, which I don't know how you could not, but Meghan, you know the royal family. Meghan has decided, her and Prince Harry, they decide. Was he a prince? Can we call him
Prince?
Decided that they were disconnecting
he's still a prince
from.
in my book. I don't care what the queen says.
Thank you. Disconnected from the royal family because the way that they were treating them, because they felt like the baby that they were producing together was going to be a little bit too melanated.
In fact, Harry even said in his interview that a reporter told him that was very closely connected to the palace, the royal palace, and the insiders, is that the whole problem was bigotry. It was based on bigotry.
Well,
so
then,
had she been a little bit lighter,
yeah. Well, if who was a little bit lighter, Meghan? If she was a little bit lighter, she'd have been white.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Go on, exactly preach. I love you.
And we don't want to. We understand y'all got your problems. But,
if she was any lighter,
all my life, I'm just saying,
she would be white. I promise you, because y'all see me. Now, if he would have brought me home, there wouldn't even been nowhere.
Nowhere to hide.
They would have put him. They would have put him out from the beginning.
Wouldn't have felt safe at all. No, you gotta go, boy.
They would have put him out the castle. You want her? You ain't gonna be in here.
They're thinking he'll come to his senses and like his daddy maybe later on down the road. Poor Diana. Anyway, sorry y'all. Didn't mean to get it.
Rabbit trail. It is what it is. Something about their melanin just makes people mad. And listen, if you want some melanin, I got the melanin for you. Hey, Brother Billy.
You put her in there. Love you, Billy.
But melanated people come in all sorts of flavors. We really do. And I remember, my bestie. Margaret, I hope she ever watches this. She'll remember this. Our kids used to play with each other so much because we were besties, and it was like if anything would have happened to me, my kids would have been. She would have taken them, right? I would have taken hers. And he's getting married, by the way. Did I tell you that?
No, you did.
So,
wow. One of 3 boys.
Yeah, and so wow. She has 3 boys. They're all name starts with J's, right? Jeremiah, Joshua, and Jesse. And so Joshua, the jealous of Harry because he is just like Mom. He can go anywhere and be good. Amen. So Joshua, he used to think in his mind, you know, when he was young, that the reason that me and my children were darker skinned was because we drank chocolate milk, whereas they used to drink just because my kids, they wouldn't drink it unless there was some some Nestle's Quick in it, and so they would always drink it with Nestle's Quick, whereas her kids would drink it just out the cow, right? The same, just the pure white from the cow. And so he really thought that we were darker skinned just because we drank chocolate milk as opposed to the white milk. And that was the only difference that he saw. And we're still like that. I mean, they could care less, like whatever. And
good kid.
Wait, that's not true. Brother Billy, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Pastor Michelle and Pastor G, a YouTuber couple, are from London. I watched, said she was not lying, but telling the truth. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. And this is the problem. I don't know how we end up talking, but I guess it's still a relationship. When you are dealing with, let me just say me. I came to this country. I was 4 years old. I had an accent, and I've always been this color. It is what it is. And I used to get so much ribbing. I went to school. It was always something. It's like you could be light-skinned and big, right? And you were accepted. But if you were dark-skinned and big, oh, they rolled on you. They joned on you. It was ridiculous, right? But here I am growing up. I'm getting into fight. When I say all my life I had to fight, I really mean that. I fought all the time in school. And I wasn't, you know, there were some other people that weren't Meghan Markle color, and they still didn't like me just because it was popular to pick on the dark-skinned people. It is what it is. You growing up, high school, junior high and high school, you're real cute for a dark-skinned chick. What the hell do you mean? What do you mean for a dark-skinned chick?
You have an accent.
What?
You know, and most of the people in D.C. area have an accent. What are you talking about? Because you don't speak.
What? Yeah, I mean, they were asking well, I guess they just didn't know. Questions like, well, did you all live in huts where you came from? They would ask, say stuff like, you're black as tar. So when you have to go through all of this, you learn that you have to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, then somebody else is going to try to jump on the bandwagon. They're going to tease you, do all of these things. And so why is it that I can tell other women, I can mentor other people and help them to stand up for themselves, teach them how to be confident, teach them how to be bold and say what they need to say? Because I had to go through some stuff, and I learned to stand throughout all of that. And then the Holy Spirit with his bad self jumped in there too later on. And so that's all she wrote now. Talking about what you say? Oh, you got something that you need to say to me? Huh? She said, nah, bro, I'm just cute. That part. Period. See, Kimmy Doll, she's closer to my color, so she probably had to deal with some of the same stuff. Like the lady from The Help, she told the baby she drank too much coffee. Right. Yeah.
Honey, when you said that you were born, or that you were born in the islands, and when you say that anymore, I always think about Steve Martin. And I was born a poor black child. How many of you have ever seen The Jerk? It is there's so much crazy. It's funny. It's hilarious. It is. It's not politically correct
not
at all.
But
it's really funny.
Yes. So
Probably
just
the cancel culture.
culture. Oh Lord, yeah.
Cancel
You
all
never
of it
know what they
because-
might do to us. I don't care. As long as I'm telling the truth, I'm gonna shame the devil.
Too dark.
Yeah, and it was the truth.
Off
And you don't understand. We had that women's conference a couple of years ago, and during the women's conference, one of the closed sessions, we were praying over some of the ladies because they identified so much with being treated as an outsider or being treated less than. It was like we're the last on the totem pole. You've got your white women, then you've got light-skinned women, and then you got dark women, and the dark ones are always at the bottom. And it's horrible that that's the way that it is, but we've had to go through it. We dealt with it. And so when people say, oh, there's not such thing as racism, I'm looking at them like, is you out your mind? Have you lived in my skin for a few minutes so that you could see what things is really like? It couldn't really be that bad. Yeah, it could. I was in basic training. Well, honey, what are you going to say?
No.
I was in basic training. And my friends, my comrades, one of them was a German. She was so cute. She's a German chick, right? And then there was another one. She was Irish. She was this tall and this thin. Okay. This dude comes up. We're in the Airmen's Club. We got off work. We're tired. She was really tired. She came in really late, had her combat boots on, had on her uniform, her battle dress uniform, and we're sitting at the bar. We're drinking. It was her birthday, and so that's why she ended up coming anyway. So we're toasting her and all this nine. There's this dude that comes in, and he was like wanting to dance with her, and she was like, "Man, I appreciate it, but I don't really feel like dancing." And so he said, man, why don't you come on? Come on, dance with me. Just one dance. She said, I got my boots on. I ain't got my hair. I just don't feel like it. And so when she said that, the second or the third go around with him still badgering her for this dance, I looked over and I said, bruh, she said she didn't want to dance. Yeah. He turned and looked at me, pointed his finger by my face, and he said, y'all, he said, I wasn't talking to you. I should wash your mouth out with soap. I sucked all the air out the room, and before I could get it half...
Your mouth out. There was an underline there.
And it wasn't Negro. And all the air that was being sucked out of my body got sucked into both of theirs, the German chick and the little one. And my friend that was Irish, she had the red hair and the little freckles. She jumped down off of that stool and she got in his face. I was cranking.
Reba McEntire?
She looked like Reba. She was a little thinner and pointier down, her chin. But Reba,
This could have been.
What is your name? Give me your ID card. And she took his tail and the fool gave it to her. That's what cracked me up. He was so scared.
Command voice. She had learned.
She jumped down off of that stool. And I mean, the stool is up here and she jumps down and she's shorter than the stool. And so she was in his face. Baby, let me tell you, the way I hollered about this later, it was so funny. But he ended up getting in trouble. We had sensitivity training in in basic training. And so even through all of that, we only there for 6 weeks. You still couldn't get it. You couldn't keep yourself together for 6 weeks.
That male ego of being told no.
Listen.
And some people come with that, and it's just ridiculous. They can't be told no, that you're a woman. How dare you turn me down?
True.
So he's bruised by that, and then when you say something, his ego is just so the stupid comes out.
He opened his mouth and dumb jumped out.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have done it though, because he got into big trouble. And my friends, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. Because then she got on. So it was one from the front like this, and then the other one coming in at the side. It was like, I ain't even had to say nothing.
Now, and again, when you keep in mind that these are airmen, and they're probably around the same grade rank wise, but they're able to get him to, and of course he doesn't have to take an order from them or give them their ID card, give up his ID card or give them the 341 or whatever.
He didn't know what to do.
But they were able to buffalo him into.
He was compelled.
He knew he was wrong.
The power of Christ compelled him.
Billy Hopkins said he's laughing.
The jerk. That's hilarious. Okay. So true, Pastor Michelle. I know exactly what you're saying because some people don't think I am black. Yes, ma'am. Okay. The lighter skinned ladies, they have a little bit easier of a time. When we come in, you're dark skinned, they automatically think that you're about to tear up the place. You finna burn something down. Yeah. And it is what it is. I don't know. You know, anytime you talk, anytime you have any kind of emotion, you're the angry black woman. And I'm like, I'm not angry. I'm just telling you what I think. And if you can't deal with what I think, then something is wrong with you because everybody has a right to their opinion. All right, quoting the jerk, that's hilarious. Don't hate on me because I'm cute in the face and thick in the waist, hips and fingertips. Come through here, Kimmy. Was you going to need bail money? I really thought that I was, but after I pulled the air and let some of it out, they handled it.
You exhaled. Okay.
They handled it. She did the right thing. Robert says, I think that kind of racism is somewhat regional. It honestly baffles me. I literally never thought less of a person or their beauty due to the color of their skin. It's evil and passed on generation to generation. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, that is when the police would be taking me to jail. Stupid is what stupid does. Yes, Miss Shirley. And Kim says men can't take what they give. They can cheat 1,000 times, but if his woman cheats, she is everything but a child of God. She is less than a dog. It's true. For the most part. I mean, you know, we can't lump everybody into the same thing or say, you know, stereotype. But for the most part, we have found that to, be true. Even in counseling. A man has the hardest time because it's almost like that boundary that it's, I don't know. It's like someone stole something from him. You know? I get it, but good Lord, it's something else. It's just that super ego in a male that, you know, I'm the best, and they have a hard time, and then they start asking them questions like, was he bigger? You know, stupid. And it's not stupid, you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't have to be big for you to be skillful. But for some reason, y'all know how they do. They get in the bathroom and they start having these pissing contests, and so it is what it is.
It's a doggish behavior.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a doggish behavior.
True that.
And a dog pack, if one, I gotta get it too, you know. They're all around. It's sad.
Yeah, but, she says it's possession. It is. They want to be sure that they possess what belongs to them, and that no one else should get it. Hey, I got that on the love you. All right, isn't this cool? How the light and the clouds are raising. Y'all are probably wondering what are they talking about. Over here on Instagram, we've got this filter, and the clouds are in the background here, so it makes it look even prettier. It's so cool. It is so cool. All right, Medea would have been in full effect. Yes, ma'am. And so we have to learn how to be like Christ. You know, he was meek, and some people think that's a weakness, but meek means power under control. Yeah. There's so many things that you could do, but I won't, just because. First of all, Holy Spirit constrains us. Amen. Right? Amen. Now, every now and again, don't push it. Don't go too far, because you know the song says, "Try Jesus, don't try me."
I thought it was "Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge."
Because that would work too. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Say what? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes you wonder, huh? Sorry.
Was that Biz Marquee?
I think it was. I think it was. Men want respect, women want love. I think we both want. I don't know a woman that doesn't want to be respected. I don't know a man. We've had this conversation as well. I know Bible says it, you know, in certain ways, but I think we receive things differently than the original intent sometimes in which it was written. I don't see that a woman would not want to be respected. I don't see where a man would be okay with you respecting him but not loving him. You know?
Okay. That's wild.
Huh? Do you remember us having this conversation?
Yeah, somewhat. Now,
Somewhat. Because I
it's
asked
kind
you.
of in some stuff that I'm writing, so that's
Oh,
why
okay.
I'm withholding.
Okay. Y'all, 70%, 70%, 30% is Peter. Yes. Houdini. This girl knows everything. She remembers everything. Makes you wonder how you keep from going under.
Okay.
And you love your life. Please, please don't try me at all. But okay, so here's the thing. If okay, let me say it like this. There are some men that are respected and they have no love. There are some men that because they can provide, you know, they can give you what you want, you may respect them, but just don't love them. I'm here simply because I have to be. This is where my bread and butter is coming from. If you are not loved, hey Maui, sure, she come to see it too.
Bless you.
If you don't love the person, then if you're not giving them that love, that support, you know,
any kind of music,
it just, I don't know, it just, you want to come in, come on in.
She may not really
want to come in, but come on in. I think, you know, and she declined.
Love you, Shirley.
So the only person that we have is Brother Robert. Robert, you can tell us, would you want to be loved and respected? Are they exclusive one from the other? I got that Obi Love is cracking up. Is it exclusive? Must you have respect and not have the love? Because especially if you're dealing with like trusting somebody from being in a place of infidelity or the other person has done it. So if they don't love you, then how does that keep them from not going back out again and do? My Facebook was freezing every 30 seconds, so I moved to Instagram. Okay. Thank you.
I'm glad to have you.
Yeah, Danielle is looking. So, you know, that's all. That's all. That's a whole conversation for another day. Yeah. I've gone through that. I've kind of studied that a little bit, but it wasn't recently. So, yeah. Y'all know it's 11:30. We were supposed to be in here for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And here we still are with y'all. This is how much we love y'all. I guess because we weren't able to come in last night.
We are. And I need to go drink some hot tea.
Yes.
We love you all. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for being with us, being part of our lives, and helping to add some substance to what we do. Our books, bit.ly /bit.ly/MM3LINKS. For those of you that are married, this is free. This Sex Connect is free. You can get it to download it at bit.ly/MM3links. You've got 7 keys to better sex in your marriage. You've got erogenous zones, exploring marital intimacy. This is my book, Wading Through the Crap to Get to the Cross. Pastor G has written Breaking Nets and Destroying Chains. He's also written Sinking Ships.
Sinking Ships. And what did I say?
And Destroying Chains.
Breaking Nets and Shipping and Sinking Ships. Okay, I am so sorry, y'all. Forgive me, it's late. So you think you're called to ministry? It comes with the book, and then you can also get the workbook. It's amazing. If you haven't gotten that, you need to get it. I promise you, it's going to bless you.
Finding meaning in suffering.
Oh my goodness,
is available.
I'm here because of the money. That's why a lot of people with a lot of money cheat, because they know their significant other don't love them, so they leave home to be with their side piece. Okay,
Brother Roberts, that's absolutely both.
Yeah,
love and
respect.
Yeah.
I want them both. I
Mhm.
want it all. I be
Yeah.
seeing y'all be posting some stuff talking about what can we eliminate, and y'all be having stuff like fried fish and ribs and chicken and ham and all this, and I'm like, why? Why do we have to give something up? Even hypothetically, the Lord said that He came to give us life and life in its abundance. Why are we getting rid of stuff? Why can't I have ice cream, cookies, cake, and pie? Why? I don't get it. Y'all stop this. I don't get you coleslaw or potato salad or beans or something. Which one could go forever? Cornbread. What? Why would I want to give up any of that? I mean, didn't He say that He gave us
the feast of the Lord? The table is spread and the feast of the Lord.
So why are we giving up stuff? We should be adding stuff. We should be going to other countries and finding new dishes to add instead of taking stuff away. How about that? How about a thing that's got 4 little parts? It says this comes from this place, it's called this, and these are the ingredients. This comes from that place, it's called this, and these are the ingredients 4 times. And let's find out which we're gonna try first. Let's put them in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How about that? Don't that sound better?
Coming to a city near you, a meetup, as soon as we're able to travel and get out of Starkville.
Amen.
Look, we love you all. Appreciate you being in here. Brother Robert says, thank you for sharing your wisdom and the perspectives and humor. Thank you for being here with us. And we do realize you all could be anywhere else. So thank God that you're here with us.
She
because
said,
COVID-19 got us looking
like a stuffed chicken.
Yeah. Sure, listen, we're trying.
Danielle be killing us with them food posts. We trying to expand, not shrink.
Cooking up some stuff.
She do be cooking it up. I ain't mad at her. Just thanks for your wisdom and perspectives and humor. Oh, God bless you, Brother Robert. It's time for somebody to go to bed. Why? Because I said, well, we got to give us stuff.
Some tea.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all. We love you. We appreciate you. We will see you guys tomorrow night. All right.
Love you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for sharing and inviting people.
Remind you that God loves you. We love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it up in here. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you all tomorrow night, and hopefully everything we're working and we'll be able to get back into our complete space. So y'all can get all the links and stuff. Love y'all. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Love you guys. Mwah. Good night. Like a stuffed chicken.